What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. African woman says Africa was never called Alkebulan, right? And I'm going to go ahead and agree with her. And I know that, some African Americans like to call Africa Alkebulan because they're under the impression, I don't know where they're getting any of this history from, right? Y'all got to stop listening to random white folks who just say shit and random black folks who just say shit without any goddamn historical evidence to back it up. We got a lot of pseudo things flying around in the African American community, and it's mixed up and intertwined with the real things, making it very confusing to differentiate what's real and what's not. Like, no white person ever named us Africans. Okay? There were a tribe there that was already named Africans. All right? A Roman general defeated that tribe and attached that name to his name as a badge of honor. Rome did not name Africans Africans. African is an African name. All right? Just like white people didn't tell African Americans that we're from Africa because, I know that they treated us like chattel slavery, but we're not actual chattel. All right? And we knew that we were African because our mamas and daddies told us where we came from. Okay? No white person has ever had enough power to wipe black people's minds of where they come from and then reinsert a whole identity. I don't know why you white people, I don't know why you black people give white people so much credit. You even call it white man science as if they invented it. This shit be blowing my mind. I'm like, you self-loathing, hating ass black folks that give white people the credit for everything is the problem. Okay? How about you learn some real shit so you got some pride about yourself? All right? In Alkebulan, something that we made up, all right? Somebody made that shit up. Doesn't sound very African. All right? And I don't think that all of Africa, because Africa is a continent with thousands of people, I'm sure everybody can call it Alkebulan. I'm sure there were common names of common metropolitan areas that had actual names, but I don't think that the entire continent of Africa, which is so big that you can fit all the other continents in it, uniformly named themselves something, because not one African on that continent was unified with all the other Africans, because Africa is legitimately the planet. Most of human history happened in Africa. Okay? Very complex. But this black woman is about to break it down. We have to get rid of the pseudo information within our communities, even though that pseudo information was built to create a history that we were trying to put together because the white man stopped us from practicing a lot of our history throughout the centuries. That's why a lot of African Americans don't realize that your African American culture that you're so proud of is literally just African culture. Everything about an African American, an African from the continent, from Nigeria, from Ghana, can look at it and be like, yep, you got that from there, you got that from there, yep, that's that over there. An African from Sierra Leone can be like, yep, yeah, that music, yep, that originates over here, yep, all that, so the way you dance, oh yeah, some African from Gabon, from goddamn Benin can look at you shaking your ass like, yep, that's a traditional such and such dance from the tribe over here. This is when they do it. Oh, you eating your black eyed peas? All the Africans, oh yeah, I know where you get those black eyed peas from. First of all, you got the black eyed pea from Africa when you brought it to the Americas from Africa. And that rice you eat, you brought that from Africa, along with that watermelon and that okra and all that stuff that you call soul food, minus the potato, which was just a replacement for the yam. All this stuff is there. We've been practicing our West African heritage and culture. We just did not know because of centuries of white people making it illegal for us to do so in order for us not to empower ourselves, because the last time African people empowered themselves using their African spirituality, we crushed the most powerful and the richest military the world had to offer, which is Napoleon's army, when those Haitians, the original foundation of Africans in the Americas, creating the first black republic, when they expelled and defeated that European power that was gallivanting around the world, defeating all other European powers and other powers. So yeah, that's why Haiti is still in the situation it is today, because them white folks never forgot about the greatest embarrassment Western society has ever experienced, and that's a bunch of Africans on an island displaced using the African power and spirituality to defeat everything the West had to offer, even though they had the military advantage with cannons and guns and ships. Yeah. So we need to get back to real history. There's enough real actual history, right? There's enough there for us to, enough meat to grab. Trust me, we got plenty of real history to be proud of. We don't need pseudos anymore. The only reason pseudos was there is because we was trying to do something to get away from that white Christian stuff. That's why you got all these Hebrew Israelites and these Moors. They just wanted to be everything but the regular Christian shit because they understood what that meant, right? And so we, found ourselves in other Abrahamic religions that really don't belong to us, even though we are the originators of the original religions that turned out to be the Abrahamic religions. But it's so far removed, it doesn't belong to us, right? We got to get back to us, being the spirit, being the love, being the light, and practicing love, which is the ultimate form of God and Christ-like behavior on this planet. But anyway, Alkebulan, not the original name of Africa, all right? And we need to accept that, right? And it doesn't downgrade anything, any accomplishment. It doesn't downgrade Africa. It doesn't downgrade anything. It's just the truth is the truth. It is what it is. Anyway, tell me what you think in the comment section. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn something, teach something. I'm out.
Africa was never called Alkebulan. I know a lot of you might come for me on this one, but put it at the back of your mind that everything I'm about to say is backed by written facts. If you have spent any time on History TikTok or Instagram or blog sites over the last few years, you might have come across the mind-blowing fact that Africa's indigenous name was Alkebulan, meaning mother of mankind or Garden of Eden or the land of the black, before the Romans renamed it. It sounds amazing, right? It feels poetic. It sounds ancient. And honestly, given how colonization rewrote so much history, it makes total sense to why people would instantly want to share it. As someone who loves digging into the actual data and material culture of our past, I have to drop a bit of a bomb truth. It is actually not true. First up, let's look at the word itself, Alkebulan. If you look at the very beginning of the word, you see that prefix al. For anyone who studies language, you know that this is an immediate massive red flag. If you are claiming this is an ancient indigenous continental wide name, because al is the standard definite article in Arabic, which means the. Think of Al Jazeera, algebra, alchemia. Now, for instance, the word alcohol is actually derived from an Arabic word, alcohol. So right off the bat, the word isn't an ancient indigenous African term. Its roots are firmly medieval Arabic. So where exactly did this come from? A French writer named André Savet in 1575 wrote down that Arab traders and travelers used a term like Alkebulan to describe certain parts of the continent. Linguists and historians agreed it likely comes from the Arabic phrase related to the word Qibla, which means the direction of prayers. To the Arab geographer sitting in the Mediterranean or in the Middle East, looking south towards the vast African landmass, it is literally the land of the south or the land of the Qibla. For instance, imagine I am standing somewhere in the Middle East, except for Saudi Arabia, and I am facing the Qibla, which is the south. I am actually facing the direction where Africa is actually located. Plot twist number one, the original African name popular on internet is actually a description used by external traders and travelers centuries before the Romans named it Africa. Now, let's address the biggest hurdle here, and this is where we have to put on our historical thinking caps. The idea that Africa had a single unified name across the whole continent thousands of years ago completely misunderstands how ancient societies worked. Think about it. A Yoruba man in West Africa, a Zulu man in Southern Africa, a San hunter-gatherer, a Kemetian in ancient Egypt didn't have Google Maps. They didn't see the landmass as a giant, singular, unified continent with modern borders that needed one collective name. They didn't think, we are all great citizens of this giant landmass. Let's have a name for it. Mind you, this whole border thing is actually recent history. Instead, people named their own worlds, their kingdoms, their empires, and their ecological regions. In the northeast, we had Kemet, the rich soil of Egypt. We had Kush, Punt, Aksum. In West Africa, we had the Mali Empire, the Ghana Empire. In other regions, names are tied to empires, rivers, and the local landscapes. To squeeze the massive, incredibly diverse history of hundreds of different language groups and empires into one single ancient word like Alkebulan actually does a disservice to how vast and complex African history really is. Let's talk about the translation people give it. If you Google Alkebulan, 90% of the results will show you that it means mother of mankind or Garden of Eden or the land of the black. If you ask any linguist or Arabic speaker to break down the syllables and find the word mother, humanity, or garden, it is simply not there. because the translation is completely made up. What is wild is why this translation exists. We know from modern archaeology, analytic analysis, and genetics that Africa is factually the biological cradle of mankind. Tying a medieval Arabic description word to a 20th century scientific discovery is what historians call anachronism. It's like placing a modern knowledge into the mouth of people from the past who couldn't have possibly known it. So, if it's historically not accurate, then how did this word become incredibly popular today? To find the source, we have to look at the mid to late 20th century. The term was heavily popularized by a prominent Afrocentric scholar, Yusuf Ben Jochanan, in his 1970 book, Black Man of the Nile. During the Pan-Africa and the Black Power movements of the 1960s and 1970s, there was a deeply valid, powerful push to reclaim history from colonial narratives. Scholars and activists wanted a name that felt entirely separate from European colonization. So Alkebulan was adopted as a beautiful symbolic alternative, as a modern symbol of Pan-African pride, unity, and desire to connect with roots before European colonization. It's a powerful word, but we have to recognize it as a modern symbolic concept, not literal ancient history. The real takeaway here is that Africa doesn't need a fake ancient name to be legendary. Its history is already written in the incredible stone tools technologies, the massive empires, the rich oral traditions, and the deep environmental history of the thousands of distinct cultures that actually live there. So next time someone posts about Alkebulan on your feed, just gently drop into their comment section and tell them the real story. So if you like something today, you know what to do. Share this because African history deserves to be told right.
Yep, time to go. That motherfucker coming over here. Ooh, shit. Hey, Carlo, bitch, look behind you. Ooh, shit, motherfucker.
Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! Free Sudan! Boycott diamonds and gold! We most definitely cannot forget about the people of Sudan!
Thanks for watching Afro Think Tank. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And follow me on Substack and Patreon for more content. Remember, it's Pan-Africanism or nothing.